So I got me worn for the day. We're just getting ready to head out on day 2. So we just got to breakfast.
Welcome to day 2 in South Korea. If you've clicked on this video, feel free to watch it from here, but it might be worth watching our first video of day 1 in South Korea to familiarise yourself with how we got here and the people who we've came with, etc. I'll put a link back to that video on the top of the screen now, but if you're carrying on watching this from day 1, we got a fun, full-packed day ahead for you. When everyone wakes up, that is. We're going to take you to some awesome places today, including Chinatown, an enormous cafe, Central Park, and we'll show you how we ordered drinks, as well as us eating just about everything in sight, from traditional Korean barbecue style food to the street food. So let's first start the day by taking you to South Korea's largest ski resort called Elysian to show you what this place has to offer. Skiing here is suitable for all levels.
Yes, very good.
Thank you.
There's slopes for beginners, intermediate and advanced skiers, and something interesting is that each slope has its own name. Unfortunately, we were unable to ski or snowboard here due to the time restrictions we had, but if you were wanting to ski, snowboard or even do some sledging here, you might want to check out our other video about this place, which will give you a more in-depth look at what's on offer here, including the prices and best time of year to come. And I might as well tell you actually what the best time of year to come. It is in fact between December and March, because after that the snow starts melting. It was worth coming here just to experience going up on that ski lift, and once we got to the top of the mountain it was basically just a good place where we could take some cool photos for our social medias. And there's an opportunity if ever I've seen one. If you're not following us on Instagram, our handle, I think you call it, is on the screen now, and I'll put a link in the description to our other social medias in there as well, like TikTok and whatnot. That's just quite right, that sounded good. Anyway, we're going to check out this toilet now, which I'm really impressed with these toilets over here. Absolutely brilliant. Just love them. Anyway, enough of that. I told Darren Kwan that I'd put some photos of them up on YouTube, so I'll do that now. And because I'm such a good friend, I'll put a link to their Instagrams and social medias in the description as well, if you'd like to give them a follow.
Ow.
As I get my finger trapped, with little sympathy from Fang, we go back down the slopes again on this ski lift, which took around 10 minutes, maybe longer, I'm not too sure. Although I did film the whole journey there and back, so let me know if you're sad like me and do the same, or even if you want the full... Actually, you can't have the full video because there's rather inappropriate language in there at times, so we shall forget that. I just had a thought, and whilst we're talking about social media, I'd like to say a massive thank you to all our new subscribers and your lovely comments. They make these videos worth doing, and we're really glad that we can take you to all these places with us. We've now reached 400 subscribers, which is 200 more than our last longer video on how we spent 3 days in Malaysia. And some of you may laugh, but we value every one of you for watching and hope we can show you a little insight into our life and travelling around to help brighten up your day and give you some hope for the future if you're wanting to travel to these different places yourself. I can't remember the name of this place. The only thing I had to go off were the screenshots that I took on my phone because I wanted to know where we were just in case we got kidnapped. It's funny some of the things that you think about when you're travelling, but as my mum says, you can never be too careful, and we were in the middle of nowhere, but you've got nothing to worry about when coming here. I think I'd be more apprehensive of crossing the border to the northern part, although that could be a place we could go on our next trip. Time for lunch. We had another lovely Korean barbecue all prepared for us. All we had to do was add some sauce, give it a stir and cook it and eat it. And as we wait for the main course, I'll show you what you can expect as a starter here.
A little bit of seaweed. Nice.
And a fact for you now, that seaweed soup I just ate has lots of health benefits, one being anti-aging effects, and looking at my hair loss, I might start drinking this for breakfast. I'm no Mark Waynes, if that's how you pronounce him, so I'm not going to talk about how good this food tasted, although I can show you the traditional way of eating it, which is basically to put a bit of meat on a piece of lettuce, add a bit of sauce, and then put it all in your mouth.
Tasty.
Lunch over with, we had some time to look around the quaint little shop that had lots of traditional food items that you can associate with Korea, including ginseng flavoured sweets and just about every flavoured almond that you could think of. We set off again by bus to our next destination and drove through some stunning scenery along the way, as well as some heavy traffic. Before we knew it, we had arrived at our next stop, which is this beautiful park in Incheon called Songdo Central Park. Just before going into the park, we were able to use an e-bike toilets and then went for a walk around to see what this place had to offer. As the name suggests, it was a park, and a very lovely park at that. It was located between lots of tall buildings and hotels, and there was a lot of things to do here as well, and no entrance fees either, like you sometimes get at other national parks. This is a public park and the centrepiece of Songdo's International Business District's Green Space Plan. That was a mouthful. It was inspired by New York City's Central Park and covers 10% of the Songdo's International Business District's total area. If you wanted, you could take one of these bikes or scooters for a whiz around the park. All you need to do is download the associated app, put your card details in, and away you go. It's a very open park and you can feel the fresh breeze when you breathe deep into your lungs. It's a good place to relax the body, mind and soul, and even hire a boat and go for a cruise on the water.
All aboard!
If safety is of concern to you, then you've got nothing to worry about in South Korea because there's cameras absolutely everywhere. We're going to have a walk onto this bridge now, and as we do, we can see one of these boats. I think they're called pods. I'm not sure what they're actually called, and it's meant to be me narrating and giving you the information. I know, but if you do happen to know what the technical name for that thing is in the water, I'd love for you to let me know. Let me show you a really cool looking wall now, and a great place to take some more photos and look like an absolute I'm gonna have to beep that out now. I've learnt my lessons from that other video. We spent around an hour at the park, and you could spend a lot longer if you wanted, or hired one of these boats. And just in case you were wondering, like I was, how much it costs to hire one of these boats, it's apparently 23 Great British pounds for a 30-minute boat ride, according to a well-known website. And I'll convert that onto the screen into all the different currencies for you now. Songdo Central Park ticked from the list of places to see in South Korea. We set off again to another fun place in the Incheon area of South Korea, which I'll show you right after the four of us pout those lips and pause for about the 200th selfie on this trip so far. I kindly asked, or should I say Fang kindly asked, our lovely tour guide Joy if it was possible for me to sit up at the front of the bus near the driver so I could capture some video footage for you people watching at home of what the roads are like to drive on in South Korea. As you can see, the roads have very good infrastructure. There's no family of four travelling towards you the wrong way on a scooter like in some Asian countries. Plenty more videos of those type of things coming up on our channel. It's remarkable how much this country's developed, considering that less than 60 years ago South Korea is considered to be a developing country. And the bus is just pulling in now to our next stop. And this stop is called Forest Outings and is basically a cafe, but not like any normal cafe. As you can see, it has a mini lake and a garden inside. It's very common in South Korea to have these warehouse and industrial style cafes, but this one tops the list and is on a totally different scale. It is absolutely huge. The cafe serves coffee, bread, pastries, as well as main courses like in this menu, where you can find a range of pastas and pizzas. The highlight of this place had to be some of these award-winning looking pastries and cakes and sandwiches, and despite not long ago eating, as they say, when in Rome,
Let's do this!
we had to try some of these culinary delights, and that's exactly what we did. There was really so much to choose from though that I went back and forth about 5 times and kept changing my mind on what to get, but I did eventually get to choose something, and I chose the chocolate brownie, which had some kind of torched marshmallow on top, as well as some kind of hot dog sandwich. I'm guessing that was wrapped in, it was like phyllo pastry. 감사합니다. I'll take you on a walk around this place now and show you what a lovely place it is. If I was to ever open up a cafe, I'd have to model it on something resembling this place, because it was a real treat and a good experience to eat and drink here. The ambience is something that I'm not quite sure how you'd reproduce, but such a tranquil place to be, and there's no wonder the staff had smiles on their faces. Must have been a joy to work here. The journey continues throughout day 2, and it's time to hit the road again. This time we're only on the coach for a little while, as the traffic was clear with no jams, and it took us less than 20 minutes to get to our next destination, which is another awesome place to visit in South Korea, and this was Chinatown. From the different Chinatowns that we visited, we've always found them to be an authentic place, and this was no different. We got here late afternoon around 4 o'clock, and as you've witnessed, we hadn't eaten much throughout the day.
Yeah, okay.
And we were starting to feel a little bit hungry, he says, with a hint of sarcasm in his voice. So the first stop we'll go to is for a bite to eat. The dish that Kwan had was called jampong, and Dar and Fang had jangjamuang, which was the black-coloured looking dish that's famous here. And it's loved that much that there's an actual museum dedicated to it. Since arriving in Asia, one thing that has surprised me is how much Asian ladies can eat. And I'm not sure if it's their genetics, but I've experienced it with my own eyes, and I'll show you in some other videos as well that I'll make. And they don't seem to put on weight either. You might be like me and only have to look at a bowl of rice and the weight starts piling on. That was me opening up Character 2 Orduction stance, known in Chinese as Yiji Kim Yong Ma, or the goat stance, in homage and respect for the 3 noble kings. Wasn't really, it was just me trying to show off. That's the famous statue of Confucius, probably the most respected philosopher in Chinese history. We took some pictures with the 3 noble kings because we could, and if you want to know more about the history and story behind all these murals, you can do just that. As if by magic, I've made another video solely about this place, Chinatown. So if you wanted to get a more in-depth look at this place, you can do so. But for now, in this video, I shall walk you up and down these lovely colourful steps, which have been fantastically designed and decorated, and as you're getting to know us a little bit more now, you might be able to tell that this was another good opportunity to take a photo or two. I love taking photos, and Fang loves posing for them, so it's a pretty good combination. This Chinatown was very easy to navigate, and it's worth wandering through the streets and alleys where you'll find all the little eateries and shops you don't see in other places. There's not much chance of getting lost, you'll always come out at a big street. We're going to walk back down this street now towards these giant 11-metre gates called Jungwa. And from here we'll hop back onto the bus, and the 4 of us are going to go and have some fun and do some more exploring around the Walmido area where our hotel is. We'd have to say that we felt South Korea was a very safe place, although we'd still advocate on taking the necessary precautions to protect yourself, like not getting that drunk that you can hardly stand up and making yourself a target, or by all means get yourself as drunk as possible. But just make sure that you're with people who can look after you. I'd advise the same thing wherever you travel. Do a little bit of research, but most importantly, try and enjoy the culture wherever you go. We felt for the most part South Korea is a very safe place, and you can walk through the streets at night, and I think that people are more likely to be more cautious of you than what you are of them. I was hoping for the dog's sake that it wasn't going to be the next one on one of those sticks.
That's a big one. Nice. 3,000? Nice. What's hot?
There's Kwan eating what I think is a chicken, but you can never be too sure. You get a lot of weird and wonderful foods in Asia that you wouldn't normally see in Western countries, like these bugs, and Fang loves them. They're classed as a delicacy in some places around here, and Fang can eat a bag of ants like I eat a bag of M&Ms. In case you're wondering how to order a drink in South Korea, in particular one of these lovely mango smoothies, I'm going to show you exactly how not to do it, so you can learn from my mistakes and do it right. I'm normally quite good with technology and can work things out pretty quickly, but this thing had me baffled, and simply because it was all in Korean. I thought about getting Google Translate out on my phone, but I tried to do it without any help.
Yeah.
Does that mean it's ordered it?
Yeah, maybe.
So what can you learn from my mistake? And that is to check if you can change the language on the machine before you start, because you could convert this into English if you wanted to. Maybe you're clever enough to check that beforehand in the first place, unlike me. However, taking the positives, at least now I can say on my CV that I know how to order a milkshake in Korean.
감사합니다.
And I can say thank you in Korean too.
We have got the mango smoothie. That tastes good. Which one?
This one.
What, are you going to try that?
Yes, squid. Famous dish here.
Fang, happy she had found the famous squid dish she had read about, we went inside the restaurant, but unfortunately not for long as communication was proving somewhat difficult. We got the message that they didn't have any of the famous squid, so decided to go for another look around the area, and we came across this theme park down one of the side streets. As you may have seen from day one, I love a theme park and going on the rides, but just as we were about to enter, we were told
shutting down.
Not to worry, this wasn't going to stop us having some fun, or food for that matter.
This is condom.
It's what?
Condom.
Wandom.
Condom.
Condom.
Not condom. Same like bonchon that you ever tried before.
Ah, wandon.
Condom.
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 Conda. Ah, conda.
เราลืมอ่ะเราลืมให้พี่ฟิลถ่ายวิดีโอก่อน
Not condom.
No condom. Yeah.
Good tasting condom.
Condoms, or should I say corn dog eating, it was time to have a look around the amusement arcades and spend some money. Feeling impressed that I could still throw a basketball, I decided to have a go on some of the other games. But if you don't want to see me making a fool of myself, feel free to jump to the next part of the video where we'll be comparing prices.
Not work. Not work. So maybe try this one.
Okay.
Two credits. One each.
ไปน่ากลัวมากฉันบอกเลยฉันบอกเลย Are you ready? Okay.
That's not good. That's not good.
เฟิร์สก็ใกล้นะใกล้ไฮสกอร์นะเนียไฮสกอร์
Knee high score.
yes
Really? Oh.
ลูกจะฟาดฉัน
Now say you hit me.
Mike Tyson. Don't know if that's any good or not.
Yum. Yeah. Go for it. Oh, what you got? Oh. Uh-huh. You have choice? Oh, black one, lovely.
You want the black one?
Yeah, have a
Black
look.
one. Angry Bird. Thank you very much.
감사합니다. Yeah. Wow. Ooh.
So I want to try something that's gonna blow my face off. What do you think? They look pretty hot, don't they? Give them a go?
I'm curious if you've been to different countries before and tried to convert the different products into your own currency, because this is what I do, and I do it to see if I'm getting a better deal than what I would back at home, which in my case is England. So for me, I convert things into British pounds, just like this bottle of Absolute vodka, which in South Korean money, one costs 37,000, and I'll convert that into all the different currencies on the screen for you now. Or in case you were wondering, you've got these nail clippers at a cost of 5,200 won, and a bag of Haribo sweets will cost you 2,000 won, which for me is roughly about the same as what it is in the UK, but I'd be interested to know if these are more or less expensive from your country. Some people have commented, and I do love hearing from you and try to respond to all your comments. And the response has been great from people all over the world watching our channel and getting something from it. I know it can be difficult for you to understand my northern British accent sometimes, and that's why in all videos now we'll put subtitles. Just in case I'm talking a little bit too fast or using words that you may not understand.
I've just locked us out.
And as I've just locked us out of the hotel room, this will be a good time to end part 2 of the video. Although you can carry on the journey with us in the morning for day 3 in part 3 of this mini-series.